DBS Radio Funerals. For more info on our services, call 448-7672.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
Good evening, I'm your presenter Hassan Robinson. Here are the headlines. The Dominica National Lottery paid out over $500,000 to 2 winners of Blast Mystery Progressive Game today. In the news from the region, 3 earthquakes recorded near Antigua and Barbuda, and internationally, UK, France agree on new migrant return schemes amid Channel crisis. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back. A special good evening to our listeners at Acoustic Worship Radio. First off, popular Booyah artist Kenny G. John Baptist has walked away with over $300,000 from the Dominica National Lottery after playing for 4 years. Along with Frederica Riley, he is one of the newest players of the Blast Mystery Progressive Game hosted by the Dominica National Lottery. Both winners were presented with their checks during a ceremony at the Dominica National Lottery Blast Gaming Center. The Dominica National Lottery has paid out in excess of over $500,000 in total earnings this afternoon. DBS News spoke with Kenny G after receiving his winnings.
Well, to tell you the truth, I deserve it because I've been going blast since 2022. So in 2025, Blast gave me a grand prize. I appreciate it. Who've exercised the business. Well, to tell you the truth, everybody can take a chance. There's a nice little vibes below to bring out to the Dominica public. Check. So instead you feel like you might be a winner, you never know. Something you can push out $10 in the machine and you come out there $6,000, $5,000. So nothing but a chance. We can also do the jackpot start back on $100-something thousand. It's nobody the way it going up and up and up and up and up. We have a lot of plans.
2025 winner of the Dominica National Lottery Blast Mystery Progressive Game, Kenny G. John Baptist. Meantime, branch manager of the Dominica National Lottery, Eronia Stedman James, announced that the Blast Mystery Progressive has been won 6 times since its launch in 2024.
Blast Mystery Progressive is a jackpot that is attached to select games on our video lottery terminals. This jackpot provides our players with even more chances to win big. We know that our players crave excitement and rewarding experiences, and we believe that our Blast Mystery Progressive Jackpot, our latest addition, has been meeting and exceeding those expectations. The Blast Mystery Progressive Jackpot has been won now a total of 6 times since we launched last year, October 2024. 4 women, and now our very first 2 men, with Kenny G breaking that trend. Our Blast Mystery Progressive Jackpot has been won twice here at our own entertainment center.
And that was a branch manager of the Dominica National Lottery, Eronia Stedman James. General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell, has emphasized the urgent need for reliable funding to enhance the efficiency of waste management in Dominica. Mitchell highlighted the importance of individual contributions towards the maintenance and improvement of these services during the Ministry of Environment's program on DBS Radio this morning.
The government has always been the principal financier for waste management services. Waste management is a very costly activity. It costs a lot of money to maintain the services that is required. The issue of sustained financing needs to be considered when we speak improving the efficiency of waste management services in Dominica. And in any developed society, and as we have seen, Sustained financing require the individual who's benefiting from the service to contribute to the upkeeping of the service. And when we would see what obtains in Dominica, it is unfair. Sustained financing is something that needs to be implemented immediately to help improve on the efficiency. And that would require a fee attached to a utility to allow for a greater level of solvency that would allow us now to be able to buy trucks, maintain trucks, pay our staff on time, prepare all the prerequisites, probably engage private sector to have the material removed.
A general manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell. Mitchell said the 2 trucks expected to arrive in Dominica have been delayed and that maintenance will be needed to be done on them once on island.
As is promised, we were supposed to have received 2 trucks on the 3rd. There was some issue with the shipping line. They cancelled the call to Dominica. So the 2 additional vehicles will be here next week, Friday. And then again, for support from the government, we have an additional fleet that is coming in, brand new trucks. It will take even further time. So the 2 is to bridge the gap. But even if you have 200 trucks, you need fuel and there is a level of maintenance and wear and tear. If the prerequisite financing is not adequate, it would mean that after so much time, we're going to need items to ensure that the vehicles are functional. And those are some of the inherent issues.
General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell. Meanwhile, at a meeting with stock farm residents organized by the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, along with representatives from the Ministry of Environment and the Dominica Fire and Ambulance Services, residents expressed their desire to see the Fonkole landfill shut down following last week's fire.
How much did I breathing in rubbish scent? Now it's rubbish scent in smoke. It poisons and all of them still smelling out there. I call it smelling it. The scent don't go, the fire stop, the smoke stop, but the scent still there. I change my curtain in my house and I come back, my still have the scent. Okay? So when you talk about facts, I don't care who like the fire, if it's somebody by mistake, but the landfill need to move. That landfill have to come out in Roseau North, in Stock Farm, Fonkole, Tarish Pit Nose. It need to go, man.
For us, it's 9 days of residual smoke. So while there's no active fire, but in the evening, the nice gentle breeze suffocates us. In the evenings, we have to sleep with masks. The conditions of the tiles in the morning, the black char, the dust is under your feet. So while there's no active fire, there's a residual smoke that is basically in our pala to fail. We want to empathize that it has happened, but again, I think we are suffering in Stock Farm. We had enough, and we had enough. And as somebody said, if we have to go out there and go on the streets of Roseau to say we had enough, we will go on the streets of Roseau to say that we had enough. With the police permission, and we'll advance.
The lady say she fixed the fire, but the scent is still there. When you get up midnight, it's inside your house, it is. You understand me? It never go.
You all need to take off the tires from there. You need to get somewhere to put the tires because it is not healthy for people in the area, like myself.
Right now is a time where I say again, enough is enough, and it's time for solid waste to move, no matter what means what way. Time for solid waste to move because we have had enough.
We need to totally agree that we need to either remove the landfill from there, or you need probably to find another area to put the combustible material.
And that was residents of Stock Farm yesterday expressing their concerns at a meeting organized by the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. Still in the national focus, Coordinator for Private Sector Relations, Industry, Commerce and Innovation, Michael Walter, has welcomed the government's decision to implement fiscal incentives for small and medium enterprises in Dominica within a time frame. In an interview on the Voices of Change program on DBS Radio this morning, Walter says the process for obtaining these incentives has been designed to alleviate the burden on small and medium-sized enterprises.
A lot of the time, the licenses or fiscal incentives that are provided within the Ministry of Finance, they are one time. But this, the government has saw the merit in providing it for a duration of time. So, for example, whether it is for 6 months, whether it is for 1 year. And what that does, it helps the business to be able to plan their imports, all right, strategically over time, which gives them an advantage. But with respect to the documentation, it is not a difficult process. The form is a very, very simple form to complete, basically asking for background information on the business. If it is a business that is involved in agro-processing or manufacturing, you would ask for production details. If not, you basically provide your projected income statement, and it's very basic. So don't think about those things from a deep perspective, it has been watered down largely just so that small and micro businesses can truly benefit.
And that was Coordinator for Private Sector Relations Industry, Commerce and Innovation, Michael Walter. And the law was described as ever-changing by Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Sherma Dalrymple, during her presentation at the National Cannabis Symposium this morning. The symposium ended today following 2 days of engagement with local, regional and international cannabis experts, as well as local cannabis reform advocates at the State House Conference Center. According to the DPP, Dominica needs to adapt to the changes in society and according to scientific research.
The law is ever-changing means that the laws constantly have to adapt to societal needs, technological and also economic shifts. And I believe this is the stage where we are at now. We have to adapt to the needs of society, to changes in society, and also we have to adapt to scientific research that has proven that this plant is useful, has very useful components in fighting certain diseases.
Dalrymple said the Medicinal Cannabis Bill 2020 is currently in the review stages.
It's not set in stone yet. At the review stage, we get inputs from the technical officers, from lawyers, from judges, from society, from cultivators as to what this bill ought to contain. And there are certain pillars that you have to look to when drafting this bill. The first one is that we have to comply to international treaties. We have to have a dedicated licensing agency, mandatory practitioner training, empowering medical practitioners to determine the justified use of medicinal cannabis for patients. I cannot determine the justified use. The police cannot determine the justified use. We have to let the experts tell us what is the purpose of cannabis, what cannabis can be used for.
And that was the Director of Public Prosecutions, Sherma Dalrymple. And a new executive to lead the Dominica Council on Aging was elected during the Council's 29th Annual General Meeting on Tuesday. The annual general meeting, held in the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall, was held under the theme Honoring the Past, Shaping the Future.
A new board of directors was elected. It comprised of Nigel Lawrence, the president, the first vice president, Mrs. Josephine Dublin Prince, second vice president, Mr. Ainsworth Irish, the secretary, Mr. Mervyn Alexander, the treasurer, Mrs. Lorana John Baptist, the assistant secretary treasurer, Mr. Bernard Shaw, three committee members, namely Mrs. Leah Shillingford, Mrs. Vina Roye, and Miss Yavik Simon. Mrs. Ophelia Olivache Murray is still our immediate past president on the board of directors.
He said ensuring members are taken care of during the hurricane season is amongst their top priorities.
One of our most immediate plans for our new term is to look into preparing our citizenry, our older persons, for the upcoming hurricane season. Well, we're already in the hurricane season. So one of our first tasks will be start to mobilize our machinery to create awareness to our amongst our population, amongst our older persons, so that they would know what to do, how to do it in the event of a hurricane.
President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Nigel Lawrence. Sheldon Shelley Alfred revealed on DBS Radio's Drive Time yesterday that Signal Band's latest release pays tribute to their Booyah Love roots. Earlier this week, Shelley and the band launched their new single, Where You Come From.
But honestly, it's a pure love song. You know, we did Booyah Love, so it's been a while, you know, since we did some Booyah Love, and I think it was good for people it caught people kind of off guard because we've been on the bacchanal side for a little while, you know, just releasing sort of more up-tempo tracks and not up-tempo, but, you know, more fed tracks, you know, fed-in party tracks. And before that, people had known Signal Band for the love songs, and we kind of get as a break, you know.
He said the song is inspired by real life.
I wouldn't say we'll be back to stay, you know, but we give a little variety just to, because the point of shock them, people here say shock them, and usually when we say shock them, it's because we just want to be so unpredictable. That's how that thing started. It's like unpredictability. The song definitely inspired by life, my life, to a very good extent as well. And is really no signal, to be honest. There's no signal to nothing that's upcoming. It's just life, boys. Life, life is love,
And that was Sheldon Shelley Alfred taking us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is news from the region and international.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back. Now news from the region. 3 moderate earthquakes were recorded in waters near Antigua and Barbuda over 2 days, according to the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center. The strongest, a magnitude of 4.2, struck at 6:40 a.m. on Thursday, 10th July today, about 66 kilometers northeast of St. John's. A second quake measuring 3.5 occurred at the same location just over 3 hours later. Both were at a depth of 10 kilometers. The day before, on July 9th, another magnitude 3.5 earthquake was recorded 110 kilometers north of the capital, also at a depth of 10 kilometers. The epicenters were located in the Lesser Antilles within reach of nearby islands such as Montserrat and Guadeloupe. The UWI Seismic Research Center noted that the earthquakes were automatically detected and their locations may be adjusted following further analysis. Internationally, London and Paris have unveiled a pilot program to return to France some of the migrants arriving in the UK on small boats across the Channel, as President Emmanuel Macron wrapped up his state visit. Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the deal, hammered out by and during the French leader's 3-day visit, groundbreaking and capable of stemming the record numbers of people who have embarked on the perilous journey so far this year. Although Starmer did not say how many people might be returned to France, media reports suggest it could initially total around 50 people per week. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports for today, July 10th, 2025. First off, West Indies batsman Brandon King says he's excited to play his first test on home soil. King is expected to feature in the West Indies lineup for the third test against Australia in Jamaica. The third test, which will be a historic day-night match at Savannah Park, will get underway on Saturday.
Yeah, obviously it's a great feeling, to play at home. I've played a few white ball games at home before and it felt incredible. So, this being the first, I think, day-night test match in Savannah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. In terms of carrying from the last game, I just want to have, consistency of approach. The formula that I used to go out there and approach my batting in the last game, I just want to come in this game and do the same and see what happens.
Yeah, you mentioned the first pink ball game here in Jamaica, but it will be your very first pink ball test match because this is only your third game. How much are you looking forward to that, especially against a team that has played the most day-night games?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, but an exciting challenge. So, it's something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, you want to play against the best in any arena that you're in. You want to compete against the best and see where you stand. So I'm looking forward to it. They've played the most pink ball games, so They're very experienced. So it'll be a good challenge.
Yeah, and finishing the series on a high, what do you think the team needs to do to get closer and closer to just crossing the line? Based on what we have seen for the first 2 games, there have been moments we haven't been able to get across the line. What is it the team needs to do?
Yeah, I think just a little bit, of consistency throughout the test match. Obviously, if you look at the last 2 games, we've been competing with them up to a certain point, and then, kind of, fall away a little bit. But that's, the reality is we're playing against the number 1 team in the world. So for us to win or to be, to challenge for a win, we need to be consistent in all aspects of the game right through till the end. So we're just looking to improve on those little 1%ers to see if we can carry it through this time.
And that was West Indies batsman Brandon King. The West Indies are trailing 2-0 in the 3-match series. Still in cricket, but on the female side, the Dominica's Amia Gilbert made contributions with bat and ball, but her efforts were not enough as the Windward Islands under-19 women's team suffered a defeat against Guyana as the CWI Women's Regional Under-19 tournament continued in Trinidad on Thursday today. Windwards made 72 batting first. Amia Gilbert got 14. Taya Isaacs got 4 for 15 for Guyana, and Guyana replied with 73 for 6 in 21.3 overs. Amia Gilbert picked up 1 for 11, and Selena Ross 1 for 8 for the Windwards. Guyana won by 4 wickets. England's Joe Root will be eyeing another century when play in the 3rd test between India and England continue on Friday. Root most likely won't get a comfortable rest tonight as he ended day 1 just 1 run short of what would be his 37th test century. England won the toss and opted to bat first. They reached 251 for 4 at stumps on the opening day. Joe Root was not out on 99. Ollie Pope made 44 and Ben Stokes was not out on 39. Nitish Kumar Reddy has 2 for 46 for India so far, and play will resume at 6 a.m. Caribbean time tomorrow morning. And the Guyana Amazon Warriors will begin their quest to capture the 2025 Global Super Title as they square off against the defending champions, the Bangladesh-based Rangpur Riders, as that tournament continues tonight in Guyana. The Guyana Amazon Warriors will have a number of top regional talents to choose from for their side for tonight's game. Johnson Charles, Shimron Hetmeyer, Akil Hossein, Evan Luis, Gudakesh Moti, Romario Shepherd, and Shamar Springer are amongst the original names available, while international stars like Mohin Ali, Dwayne Petroius, and Imran Tahir are amongst the foreign players. The Warriors will take on the Rangpur Riders at 7 p.m. Into some volleyball action. The women's title in the KFC National Volleyball League will be decided tonight when defending champions at the Aces meet the MCCU Sunrise in Game 3 of their women's finals at the Massac Indoor Facility. The Aces took the first game of the series comfortably on the weekend and were 1 set away from winning the championship in Game 2 on Tuesday before the Sunrise team came roaring back. Sunrise overcame a 2-0 deficit to win the Game 2 in a 5-set thriller. The two teams will meet tonight from 7 p.m. at the Massac Indoor Facility, and the winners will be crowned national champions. Into some basketball action, Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators' new signing, Asad Mohammed, made an explosive entrance into the DABA Premier League as he helped the Dominators to a crushing win over the Police. As the Premier League continued last night at the Massac Indoor Facility, Mohammed, a US-based player who hails from California, scored a game high of 32 points as the Dominators handed the Police their 3rd loss of the season, beating them 98-52. Arundel Desbon scored 16 and Andel Olivachi added 15 for the Dominators, while Shailen Farrell got 21 and Daniel Ormond 11 for the Police. Meantime, in the Division 1 League, it was Kelly Macpherson show in that he scored 32 points as well to lead the Dennis Charles Pemberton Seahawks to a 67-63 win over the West Coast Credit Union Real-Time Ballers. Showintonville added 15 for the Seahawks. Tony Lee had 17, and Deshaun Dennis and Jaheim Nelson had 10 points each for the Ballers. Basketball actions continue tonight with defending Division 1 champions, the Blazers, taking on the West Coast Ballers at 9 p.m. Into some football action, the Belfast Estate Maho Soca Strikers came from a goal down twice to pick up all 3 points in their encounter with Valvoline reunited as the DFA Premier League continued last night at the DFA Technical Centre. Addison Dennis was the hero in the end, getting a goal for Maho in the dying stages of the match as the Soca Strikers, despite losing 2 players to red cards, secured the dramatic win. Francis Rook scored twice for Maho, as well as Kian Thomas and Jahil Alexander netted for United. The win puts Maho level on points with Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla FC on 27 points. Dubla, however, has a game in hand. Maho head coach is Kenny Fesbury.
First of all, the guys are feeling really elated right now. Coming into the game, we knew exactly what was at stake. We knew that we wanted to separate ourselves from those behind us. I wanted to give ourselves an opportunity to sit down at the same amount of points with Dubla. Yes, Dubla the edge us in terms of the goal differences. But what we wanted to do was to ensure that we make this league as competitive as possible. I must give credit to the Way United team who fought real hard, right? Who worked on both ends of the field, right? But clearly we wanted it more, and we gave everything that we had, right? You see, we went down 2 man down, but we kept our cool, we kept our composure, and most importantly, we believe. We in Mao, Belfast Estate, Mao Super Strikers, we believe. At the end of the day, we kept our cool, we believe, and then we do all that that was required of us in order to get this thing. This group of guys that I have right now, I'm telling you, we are very united. There's a high level of tenacity. There's a high level of belief, right? And we trust ourselves. We trust the brand of football that we try to play.
And that was Maho's head coach Kenny Fesbury. The Premier League continues tonight with the relegation threatened DSFC taking limited one more time. The Premier League continues tonight with the relegation threatened DSFC taking on the Roosevelt Scarlet Bombers. That game kicks off at 6:30 at the DFA Technical Centre. And 2 of the overseas-based players on the national under-15 boys football team are hoping to leave a strong impression on the team during the 2 friendly matches against Anguilla this weekend. Dominica is hosted Anguilla in 2 matches at the DFA Technical Centre as preparations continue for next month's CFU under-15 tournament in Curacao. US-based midfielder Peyton James and St. Martin-based forwards Demario Nelson are the 2 overseas-based players. Peyton James is a product of the MLS side Houston Dynamo Academy, and he says he's excited to represent Dominica.
Well, I was born in Houston. Both my parents are from Dominica, and this feels really good for me to represent my country, my roots, and I just want to come and play and try to win trophies.
All right, what position do you play?
I play midfielder.
All right, what do you hope to bring to this national team?
I hope to bring creativity, goals, and obviously the win in Curacao, CONCACAF.
So the training that you're exposed to at Houston Dynamo, how do you think this is going to help you coming back here into the Caribbean playing for Dominica?
I feel like the training works on my technical ability, my physical ability, helps me grow as a player, and then I'll come here and rub off my talent on some of these players and help the cause Dominica.
And that was a national under-15 football player, Peyton James. Meantime, Demario Nelson, who is based in St. Martin, has quite the reputation for scoring goals.
My name is Demario Nelson. I'm from St. Martin. As you currently said, I'm the leading goal scorer.
All right, so a little bit as to what it's been like with the guys here. Let's talk me through how the training has been going for you.
It's been good. Like, I can tell the difference between up in St. Martin and down here in Dominica. Yeah.
How excited are you to be part of this team?
Very excited. Like different, as you say, like different environment, weather than up in St. Martin, like, and training times. Because usually in St. Martin, training would be like, for instance, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Here it's like 5 hours, 6 hours. Yeah.
All right, and if you get the opportunity to play, what do you want to bring? What do you want to showcase to Dominica?
My skills, so show them why I'm the leading goal scorer, as in like scoring goals. Yeah.
And that was a national footballer, Demario Nelson. In some more sports this evening, West Indies batsman Brandon King says he's excited to play his first test on home soil. King, I read that already. All right, so my apologies. This brings us to the end of this evening's news and sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and link personnel, DJ Halo Boy.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow, it's now offering fast